There is no place that soybeans cannot reach now. What's left over after providing sufficient nutrition to the farmers is first sent to processing plants. NEI established a total of 11 soybean processing plants in Afghanistan. Soybeans processed here will be made into flour, biscuits, tofu, and soy milk and hit the market. This project was born out of hope that the processing and distribution of soybeans would rejuvenate the Afghan economy in general.
بعد از اینکه ریختانیم از انتقالش میکنیم به جایی که به سرد شود. بعد از مدت یک 20 دقیقه بعد از اینکه سرد شد از انتقالش میتیم به ماشین آرد سویابین. باز بعد از آرد شده از آرد به پروسس باز بسته‌بندی و پاکت بسته‌بندیشو میکنیم.
It is a constantly evolving and growing industry. The first batch of seeds that NEI brought into Afghanistan was provided by an American firm. Beginning from 2009, NEI came to offer even better seeds in partnership with the Korean government. Furthermore, they have created better quality seeds that grow well in Afghanistan. That was the outcome of working with Afghan agricultural research institutes and its Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock. Now Afghanistan produces its own soybean seeds.
تنها طی سال گذشته بیش از 2,400,000 کیلوگرم سویابین در کشور تولید شده است. انواع مختلف تخم بذری سویابین توسط وزارت زراعت در زونه‌های مختلف اقلیمی تست توافقی گردیده که در حال حاضر در حدود 7 نوع تخم بذری سویابین در زونه‌های مختلف اقلیمی زراعتی کشور تولید می‌کند و افغانستان را از نظر تولید تخم بذری سویابین خودکفا ساخته و نیاز به تولید تخم سویابین از خارج کشور نمی‌باشد.
Once it purchased soybeans from local farmers and processed them into products, NEI developed distribution networks. Positive market response facilitated the distribution, and this in turn boosted soybean production across the country. Processing plants became a logistic hub. Recently, they've begun delivering soybeans, including soy milk, to the Afghan government. The 200,000-strong Afghan National Army has turned to soybeans as a source of protein.
ما طی سال 1398 سویابین مورد نیازی که بر سرباز ما به خاطر تقویت نیروی بشری و زیبا کار باشه داخل مینوی خود ساختیم. ما به نوبه خود اظهار سپاس میکنم و تعهد ما مبنی بر از اینکه در رشد اقتصاد کشور ما هم سهیم باشیم، بر علاوه که در دفاع از کشور قرار داریم، در قسمت نیرومند شدن تولیدات و رشد اقتصادی کشور خود سهیم شده باشیم، تمام تولیدات داخلی را ترجیح دادیم و این هم یکی از بخشای هستند که ما خوشبختانه سویابین داخل مینوی خود ساختیم و بتانیم دهقان خود تشویق بکنیم، سکتور خصوصی خود را پای ساد بکنیم.
Let's move to the province of Nangarhar, where Jalalabad is located, a city that was notorious for terrorist activities. On the way to Jalalabad, tanks on the side of the road are a reminder of the current situation in Afghanistan. But the devastation of war didn't abate the abundance of nature. There are people who want to start anew here. As in all places in the world, people here find pleasure in small things. NEI brought in soybeans to help them defend their lives, even in the conflict-torn area. Fazullah, a young soybean farmer in Nangarhar, he's found happiness in the little things in life.
بعد د 15 ورځو به میده کوو چې میدم کړای نه بعد به موږ له حاصل په لاس راځي لکه لوبیا په شکل پخیږي، سره کېږي، شوروا پخیږي، نور ډوډۍ ته جوړیږي، کلچې، نور شیونه، ماسته، شوده، شړومبې.
The Taliban are raging all across the country, particularly the rural areas. However, NEI's sincere approach to address the issue of malnutrition in Afghanistan planted trust even in the Taliban.
Taliban called our agronomist to explain about soybean, what it is and what's good for our people. And we explained to them very well about the older stunted children and malnourished women. They can be helped by eating protein-rich soybean. And that's why we have been working from 2003. And after evaluating our work, they said they would not stop our work. And then they even encouraged some farmers to start growing soybean with us.
What the farmers gained from NEI was hope. Now they grow their own soybeans, feed their families with them, and sell them in the market. They come up with their own recipes as well. Thanks to their extensive research and endeavors, soybeans are now a common ingredient in the Afghan diet. Soybeans, growing ripe in the fields, symbolize peace for these people who shut themselves off due to protracted animosity.
Korea has experienced extreme poverty and also constant security threats. And Korean people were able to overcome all those difficulties and finally achieve both economic development and political democracy. We really worked hard, and also we invested heavily on education too. But if it had not been for the assistance from the international community, we would not have been able to achieve this bright success. That's why Korea is committed to help out people in the world. It's our turn to pay back what we had received from the international community.
Los Angeles, California. With its mild climate, its iconic cosmopolitan city that symbolizes the culture and economic abundance of the U.S. West Coast. There were already more than enough relief organizations in Afghanistan in the early 2000s. Afghan people's malnutrition, though, remained without a solution. Dr. Kwon needed an idea that was different from the existing food supply plans devised by NGOs. As a food and nutrition scientist, he took note of soybeans. The main cause of malnutrition-induced death was protein deficiency. Then why not help the Afghan people grow and eat soybeans that are not only rich in protein, but are also affordable? That was NEI's mission.
Hello, Rupa.
Hello, Dr. Kwon.
Powerful acquaintance of his came on board. The idea had a great appeal since it came from a professional nutritionist who had mulled over the problem for a long time. With doctors, accountants, and food scientists on the team, NEI's foundation was growing solid.
Yeah, after I retired in 2009 from Nestle, I met Dr. Kwon for lunch. He explained to me about NEI and the mission, his mission in Afghanistan. And I was very, very fascinated with the work he was doing in helping malnourished people in Afghanistan, especially women and children. So I thought that was very, very good. And I asked him if I could also support, based on my background, anything he might be able to use, my support. And he said, of course, welcome. So I started working for NEI in May 2010. And I'm still volunteering right now too.
There was no soy, not even one soy plant in the country. and we're now producing several metric tons of soy every year. So we have built the foundation for a soy economy, which will have amazing impact on their well-being in the future.
Iowa is America's breadbasket in the Midwest. Here, gently sloped plains fan out far and wide between the Mississippi River and the Missouri River. The state produces an enormous amount of crop. It is known for corn, but soybeans are another of its specialties. Some of the biggest soybean farms in America are located in Iowa. Yields are high, but soybeans are generally regarded as animal feed in the West.
So I asked them whether it's a beanie or not, and they said,
Iowa also has friends of NEI. Dr. Leroy Hansen is a nutritionist like Dr. Kwon. At the age of 90, he is still volunteering in Kenya. Dr. Hansen also came on board with his friend's mission.
Slowly coming to me. Wait a minute.
When you think about solving a protein shortage in a country, there's really two primary ways of going at it. One is to produce milk protein, casein, which is the #1 quality protein available in the world. But that doesn't really make much sense in Afghanistan. That means you have to have dairy cows, you have to have milk processing plants, all kinds of technology. Soybeans is very close in terms of the protein quality because of the amino acid content of soybeans. And soybeans have about 40% protein, about 20% fat, and their oil, soybean oil. Normally they would extract the soybean oil and be left with the protein. But it's very important that it's processed properly so that the soy protein is very highly digestible and available.
Now, there's a soybean industry.
Unlike the West, where soybeans are seen as animal feed, they are meant for human consumption in the traditional Asian culture. Soybeans are an ideal food ingredient as they are highly nutritious and rich in protein. Dr. Kwon of Korean heritage understood this from early on. Stein Seed Company is a leading American seed company that has been partnering with NEI for a long time. As an Iowa-based business, it owns giant soybean fields. There was no point in providing Afghanistan with soybeans in bushels. Their goal was to make the plants grow healthy and strong in Afghanistan, where no soybean seed has ever been sown, to eventually awash the barren land in green. That put an emphasis on the seed. It was Stein Seed Company that helped with the distribution of the seeds in the early days. The company picked soybean seeds that were nutritionally excellent as well as easy to grow and gave them to NEI, which were later planted in the Afghan soil.
We at Stein spend our time producing the best new possible varieties, and we're very pleased to work with people such as Stephen, who are taking these products into countries where families need them and farmers need them. We at Stein Seed make it our business to produce the very best varieties, highest yielding of soybeans that we can. And we want those to be utilized by anyone in the world, any farmers that want to increase their productivity, increase their economic situation, and particularly if at the same time we can increase the nutritional value of foods going into particularly mothers and children, but any families. We're happy to cooperate with that, regardless of the political background of the particular people involved.
Soybeans have a higher protein content than eggs or meat. Above all, production costs are low enough for even impoverished Afghan people to cover. There was another critical issue, though. Would soybeans suit Afghan people's palate? Thankfully, the locals were very happy with soy-based food. Korea's beautiful island of Jeju has fully recovered from the scars of the Korean War. Also known as a world-class tourist destination, Jeju hosts many international events. At the Leadership Convention Center Jeju, Global Leadership Camp is in progress. Organized by 4-H, a sizable youth organization with a long history, the Leadership Camp brings in young people from around the world. Many booths were set up to promote the educational environment by different countries, including Afghanistan. The booth was set up by NEI staff. Sonia Kwon also attended the event. NEI learned from 17 years of its experience that soybeans do way more than just address the issue of hunger. When soybean farming households sell the leftover soybeans in the market, their financial situation improves and the market distribution livens up. Households with financial buffers have the means to educate the female members of the family and children. NEI believes that education is the second most urgent issue for Afghanistan after hunger.
To be honest, it feels kind of weird to be holding this flag and walking down there because I'm not Afghan, but at the same time, I feel very honored to be here and to represent the people of Afghanistan, especially the Hazara people who look very, very Korean. So at least in that way, I feel a little better about stealing the spotlight from Dr. Ahmad.
As you see the front, and the other one is Korean. And
the representatives socialize with one another and look around the products made by talented young people.
And we discuss those.
There are also T-shirts and flags bearing 4-H's emblem, a 4-leaf clover. NEI educates young people on the agriculture and livestock industry. Not surprisingly, their exhibits are more related to crops. Soybeans, of course, take the center stage.
We are working with the youth in Afghanistan. Also, NEI has very good activities in Afghanistan. NEI is working in 3 provinces of Afghanistan. NEI established 11 soybean processing factories. We trained more than 125,000 farmers in the soybean cultivation and other agriculture-related activities. Also, we trained 3,450 youths in very different subjects. Also, we supported them in the field of agriculture, poultry, community developments. Also, we received a lot of women in the soybean food culture. Now they are using the soybean in their foods. Also, we work with the market to improve the soybean and extend the soybean, because the soybean is very full of protein products for Afghan people.
They are wearing new clothes. We have very good.
Afghanistan is still calling for more international cooperation. NEI started out with one crop and expanded into many fields, including nutrition, food processing, market development, education for women, and the Seed of Hope education project for youth. But they still need more international attention. Dr. Kim Ki-yong, who hosted this event, has been paying keen attention to NEI's Youth Education Initiative.
Dr. Stephen Kwon's initiation, the starting for the planting soybean in Afghanistan, that is a very important and the right approach to solve their malnutrition problem. After that, we noticed that Dr. Stephen Kwon also started the Seed of Hope project, which is actually educate youth for their professional skill development. So that is a very important starting and the initiation for the future youth development in Afghanistan.
Beside its headquarters in California, NEI also operates a branch in Kabul, as well as in Seoul, the Korean capital. Seoul is living proof that a war-ravaged country can pick itself back up. It's hard to find traces of the war beneath the progress it has made. Hayground is home to many social ventures in Seoul. Dr. Kwon held a small seminar for social entrepreneurs there. He has been dividing his time among the U.S., Afghanistan, and Korea for this cause. The person who invited Dr. Kwon for this event is Lee Eui-hyun. Mr. E has been closely following NEI, which has been practicing the value of sustainability for 17 years. Mr. E witnessed the atrocious conditions in Afghanistan while working there as a correspondent for a newspaper company in 2005. He realized then the limitations of the assistance provided by NGOs.
국제개발이나 구호 이런 분야에서 전 세계 많은 정부기관과 글로벌 NGO들이 수많은 돈, 자원을 쏟아붓고 있지만 실제로 어떤 지역의 어떤 문제를 해결하는 데는 어려움을 겪고 있는 것을 저희가 오랜 세월 동안 봐오고 있습니다. NEI는 아프가니스탄이라는 한 지역에서 그 지역에 맞는 하나의 그런 사업, 콩이라는 하나의 사업 아이템을 가지고 벌써 15년 넘게 세계적으로 그리고 서두르지 않고 사업을 해오시기 때문에 좋은 성과가 있다고 생각하고요.
Those who want to help a country wrecked by conflicts must know exactly how to help it. They also need to be patient and sincere. Dr. Kwon knew that the soybean was a solution, and he worked relentlessly to help. That's where the key to his success lies.
Our motto was, even one more farmer we like to find so that that farmer can help save their family members by producing soybean with us. That motto was not just our motto, but also our local employees of Afghanistan. They went to many difficult villages. Sometimes shooting is happening, sometimes Taliban is stopping, but they didn't, all this kind of problem didn't stop our agronomists. Because of that village, many people are dying. I should go there to find one more farmer. That kind of a commitment to the people is very important.
Even at this moment, conflict and suffering are tearing Afghanistan. It would be the job of politics and politicians to ultimately end that suffering once and for all. However, we cannot sit idle till it happens. And 17 years ago, some people took the matter into their own hands and took action. Soybeans may be a tiny crop, but they hold an amazing potential. And that may hold the key to reconciliation we need in this complicated world with no easy answers.